Welcome back, YouTube. This is just going to be a general layout and activity update here. I'm going to go through some of the things that I've done in the past, that I'm working on, and some projects we've got coming up in the future. So if you've been following my channel, hopefully you've seen some of the projects I've been working on here. Some of them have been completed completely, some of them more than others, but let's just get started here. First, as some of you may have seen, my Intermountain ES44 AC now has fairly bright lights. Not quite as bright as my Proto SD45 with the 3mm LEDs, but these are definitely much brighter than they were before, and I like them quite a bit. Next is my Athearn Genesis SD60 ACE, which is the first generation, and as many of you know, the sound is a little less than good. So what I did is I put a new speaker in and adjusted some CVs, as well as putting in an entirely new speaker box. Originally, I had sealed the existing speaker box, but then Athearn shipped me a new speaker box, all metal, that was sealed properly. So now I have a super good speaker box, good speaker, and good sound. The only problem is something's wrong with the circuit board now. That prevents the headlight from working, the rear light from working, and the locomotive from working above half throttle. So that it's a little bit of a problem, but I will play the sounds here for you. So as you can hear, it is quite better, and I'll play the horn here. So hopefully you noticed there, it was a little bit better quality. I know the lights were flashing, and prototypically they're not supposed to, but I was just playing around with the circuits and the CVs and all that kind of stuff, and I was just having fun. So that's what this is all about anyway. Next is my Proto SD60 Mac. A long time ago I did a review of this, and I said that I wasn't too happy with the paint, but that would be okay because someday I might weather it, and finally that day has come, and it is all weathered. I blocked off the windows, and I just gave it a pretty good weathering job. So you can go back into my previous videos and just check those out. All of these there are more in-depth videos on. Next here is my Intermountain ES44 DC, or rather an ES40 DC because it's Norfolk Southern. I had two of them, and I still technically do have two of them. One of them is on its way to Colorado right now, though, because there are a couple issues I was having with it. This is the locomotive with sound. The one I sent back did not have sound, but it did come with DCC. And for whatever reason, there were a number of issues with it, the biggest one being really poor electrical contact. It seems like every rotation of the wheel, even on the cleanest of tracks, it would just stop and stutter and not work. The other thing I noticed was really poor pulling power. Most locomotives, under heavy load, when they reach their max, the wheels will start spinning. Happens on this one and the other Intermountain Gevos I have, but the one that I sent back, the wheels just stopped spinning and the motor buzzed. I wasn't pushing down on the locomotive, it was just not willing to move. Also, it had a strong electrical burning smell coming from it after just a few seconds of running, which to some other locomotives is normal, but from my other Intermountain Gevos, haven't seen anything like that. So I think something's up with it, and hopefully I'll get that back. Intermountain's customer service has always been great, so I'm expecting pretty good stuff. I do want to get two BNSF Gevos. I have one from Intermountain, and it is the first generation, and I'm not real happy with the color orange on it, although right now with the bright lights it looks pretty good. And I can't decide if I should get two of these, or if, as many of you know, Athearn has released information that they are working on their own Gevo that they got from the Tower 55 molds, and I don't know, maybe I'll just wait around and get two of the Athearn ones. Now, I'm not real happy with the incandescent bulbs. They're not too bright, and they don't look much different than modern LEDs, as you can see there. The one on the left is the Athearn with the incandescents, and on the right is the Intermountain with their LEDs. So the biggest thing I'm trying to find out now is if Intermountain changed their orange paint on their locomotives, and also when their next run is coming out, because I might get the DC models instead of the AC, just because I like the number 7 better than I like the number 5. And the BNSF and Norfolk Southern, well, at least the BNSF, the 5 series, and I guess some of the 6s, is the ES44 AC, and the DC is the 7s. I like the H3, but their most recent run of the DC models had only the yellow power bar, and I like the black one. So, kind of waiting here. I'm either going to hold out and get the Athearn or get 2 of the Intermountains. And Intermountain's customer service has been fantastic, so I'm pretty much leaning towards the Intermountain right now, just because they've been great. So, that's that. Like I said, though, a bunch of people have been telling me about these Tower 55 Athearn models coming out, and I've been well ahead of you. I've been watching these things for years, so that's that. And lately, my biggest project I'm working on can be seen here. A YouTube member saw my weathering and DCC and lighting type of installs, and he gave me a project to make an EJ&E J-Ball Proto 2000 SD60. Now I know that the EJ&E Railroad, what is it, Elgin, Joliet, and Eastern, do not have SD60s, but this is a fantasy thing, and it's just kind of, I think it's going to be cool. So that's what I'm working on here lately. Most recently I'm putting the lights in, getting all that wired up. I finally understand all the pins on here, so it's been a good learning experience. Of course, I haven't been taking any risks. I got the decals here. I'll be painting this orange, and there'll definitely be an in-depth video about this. I'll probably put it all together, so this is all you'll see from it for a while, but this is what we're going with here. This is what we got. I feel like Athearn here with their undecorated model, so stay tuned and you'll see what happens here. Got all these little bits and parts I need to install. So finally, even more in the future, I've always been talking about getting a new layout, and I haven't sold my current ones yet, but when I do, something like this will be coming. This is kind of my demo. This is a 2x1 foot block here, and this is kind of just what I'm going for here with looks on the railroad. There will be 2 lines, and it'll be wider, but essentially this is what it's going to look like, except I do plan to put static grass in at some point. But I got water down here at the front, got dirt with turf. I actually used real dirt and I used real stones this time. When I finally go to do it, I'm going to use stone ballast as well, because the Woodland Scenics, I guess, uses some type of nutshell, and I don't really like that a whole lot. One, it doesn't look too great, and it's hard to fasten down without it shooting all over the place. 2, it's just not quite stone ballast. So, but this is what we're working with here. So, I guess that concludes it. The stones here are real limestone. I went out with a chisel and beat away at a big limestone rock. So that kind of has a personal touch to it. So this is it, YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this update, and there will definitely be more coming. So stay tuned and look for more videos in the future.